Who asked me that? I think Nicole asked me that. Can you see my mouth? Okay, yeah, good. I would put, so it's right here for NFP. I would put my sell stop right here, my buy stop right here, excuse me. And it'll either shoot up or it'll shoot down. But before it shoots up or shoots down, there might be a little, it might be consolidating a bit right here, and it goes right here. And that's the reason I put it right in the middle, because you want to have that space where you can, where you're able to handle it. So it'll shoot down a little bit. Most of the time it doesn't, and it'll shoot back up. And your sell stop will be active. Your buy stop will be activated, and what you do is you close your sell stop. So that means that, you're not, if it goes the other way, you're not in both trades and, a sell and a buy for the same pair. That's not too wise. But this is how I do it for NFP. So we have NFP. Whenever Nicole comes back, tell her about the NFP again. Oh yes, like I was saying, patience is key. Don't doubt yourself. If you have a trade, you have your analysis, you believe that's, the way it's going, then keep that trade, because, of course the market will consolidate a bit. Your trades won't be and stuff like that. Have confidence. Like the end and the start of a bear market. So you would have, something like this. Okay, so Nicole here. Okay, so Nicole, what I was saying for NFP, let me go back to the screen. What I would do is I would have, my sell stop right here, and I have my buy stop right here. So I would keep the trade right in the middle. What usually happens is that it goes down a little bit, it consolidates, but don't let that scare you or anything like that. Back up, or it shoots back down, but say it shoots back up. Once it shoots back up, what you do is you close out your sell stop. So whichever way it goes, you close out that other trade, because you want to be sure. You don't want to be on two different trades for the same pair, like two opposite trades for the same pair. That'll blow your account in seconds. As I'm looking right now, it looks like GU is in accumulation, so it might be going up. This is the start of a new trend.
Do you measure the pips or take a guess, or is it just the resistance and support area for your price?
Is this question for NFP? The pips is usually 10 pips. I usually do 20 pips away or 10 pips away, but I do 10 pips.
Yes.
Okay, so for NFP, I usually do about 10 or 20 pips away from where the price is. So, because you want to be sure, because usually what happens is, like I said, it goes down a little bit, but it's not really going down, and it shoots back up. Or it goes up a little bit, it's not really going up, and it shoots back down. I love NFP because you can make money in an instant. But, it's still, risky, but if you know how to do it, it's not risky. Yeah. So just to be sure, 15 pips away from the original price for your sell stops, 15 pips away for your buy stop. And for my TP, I usually put it around 50 pips away, because it usually spike up to 50 pips. So for my TP, I'll have it 50 pips away. And what was it? Okay.
What about stop loss?
Stop losses. Some of you guys know me for a long time. Like, I rarely use stop losses, but if I if I were to use a stop loss, I would say my best friend, he has he's been trading. He's like Q Banks taught him how to trade, and he usually just say risk stop losses. If I were to have some, I would put it. Okay. So say what I would do with EJ right now is I would buy it. So if I'm gonna put a stop loss, I would want to give myself room to breathe. So because sometimes if you have your stop loss too tight, it hits your stop loss and it goes your way. It's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? You know, you get discouraged and stuff like that. Yeah. So say I'm buying GU, I would put my stop loss right around here, right before that resistance right there. I know it seems huge, but it depends. It all really depends on your lot size. Usually, if a trade is -10, I close it out, you know. But I would have my stop loss right here, or right here. Yeah, right here. And I would have my TP if I'm buying for a long time. I would have my TP right underneath that previous resistance. So I would probably have my TP right here because as you can see, that's when it started to drop a little bit. So there's a possibility it might go back to that, you know, high and breaks it and keeps going back up, so on and so forth. But this is just the 5 minutes, of course. This is just scalp. As you can see, yep, it's the perfect place. Look at that. Perfect. Stop loss right here, TP right here. This looks perfect. And this is like the perfect bullish engulfing candlestick. Somebody raised their hand. I think it was Mama that raised their hand. So I know a lot of people are asking, well, where do I buy? How do I know when to buy? How do I know when to get in the trade? Like I said, confirmation, I usually wait for my third candlestick, going on my fourth, or sometimes even going on my third, depending on all how, you know, the chart is going, the market is going, if Trump says something stupid or not, you know, all these factors. Okay, so the end of a bear pattern. I suck at this drawing. I know, it's so strange and all the other ones are like so crooked. Oh my god, this is horrible. Okay, so the start of a bear pattern would be you have the lower highs and the lower lows. And right here would be the start of your bear pattern. What I would do is, you know, okay, so I have my one candlestick, I have my two candlestick, my third candlestick. Now, what you usually see at the beginning of this is a week sellers, but it's a strong rejection. So right here you have the strong rejection, meaning that, you know, it tried to go up, buyers trying to get in control, but they couldn't get in control, so drops back down. You know, it's confirmation that it's coming into a bear pattern. And usually it goes down to about 50 pips. Like I say, history repeats itself. You know, if you go back, sometimes you would see that same exact pattern. So history repeats itself. So, you know, back down here, and then it'll take you, once it's oversold, you'll have the exhaustion of the bear pattern, and then you'll have the breakout. Now, be careful with the breaks out because it might not be a real breakout and you get stuck in a bull trap. So sometimes you have that little breakout and it goes back down again. consolidates a bit, that's usually when you get trapped right here, waiting for it. This is where your mental trading come in. Oh, you like, oh no, it's going down, maybe I should get out. Most people, what they do right here is, since they were buying right here, they get to right here and they're like, oh my god, what is going on? They leave it and you never put a sell, right here. People put a sell. Now what usually happens is the market goes back up to your previous analysis where you had it going before. So, you just have to wait it out a little bit, or just wait for confirmation. Don't just get in as soon as the breakout happens. That one candlestick, wait for the next two candlesticks, just to be sure. The market is not going anywhere. I went for Ripple and people were like, oh my god, you are crazy. What are you doing trading Ripple? And I actually made like $100-something. I was so hyped and everything. And then I saw this. Let me show you guys. So I saw this right here. This is like the very first time I built my account. So I saw, and mind you, I started with $20, got it up to $100, so on and so forth. So what I saw was, this was my mistake. That's how I learned. I saw this right here. So I saw it break out. I did not wait. I was like, okay, yes. I just made $100 in Ripples. I'm excited. I feel like I mastered it, I see this. I'm like, yes, it's going down. That's it. And what happened is that it went down a little bit. I was happy. I'm like, yes, it's going my way. And then I see this. And it just shoots way back up. And I'm like, oh my god, I was so mad, just lost a lot of money. That's why I always wait for that confirmation, that third candlestick. I don't rush into the trades and so on and so forth. At what time frame do you enter a trade? Time frame? Well, it depends on if I'm scalping or if I'm doing, a swing trade. Sometimes I hold my trades for a long time, for the week. For example, I wanted to buy AU and leave it, to the end of the week or next week, because I am confident that it's gonna go to the 0.76 level. So for my